Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's iHookin22 here, and in today's video we're going to do another FIFA 21 video. This is going to be part 2, so if you've missed part 1 there'll be a link up above so you can go check that out before you watch this one. Don't forget to subscribe, like and comment down below, and let's just get straight into the video. Right guys, so this is my team right now as it stands, and yes, it's almost completely different from the first team I had. I actually think the only people that have survived, if I'm correct, is Harry Kane, Kovacic and Laporte, and everyone else has changed. So let me talk you through them changes, how they come about, and sort of what's happened basically. So first of all, I had a bit of money in regards to, I'm sure you guys probably remember from last episode, I had a bit of money to spend. I was sort of deciding on what I was going to spend that on, and also since then I've packed a few players, as you may be able to tell as well. So basically, just starting off with the starting 11, because that's what we're going to concentrate on here today. We picked up Alisson for 102,000. I don't know if he's ever so slightly different now. I think he might be, no, sort of roughly the same, maybe sort of 10k cheaper, but we picked him up for 102 when we got him. In regards to what I feel about Alisson, I feel like he's pretty solid. He's quite good when strikers sort of either side of the box at getting across to make the save. Sometimes, I don't know if this is all goalkeepers in FIFA 21 or if it's maybe just specifically him, he sometimes just sort of palm it into the path of strikers, sometimes, ever so often, but most likely or not he saves it and sort of pushes it away, so really good addition to the team. Now, in regards to the back four, like I mentioned, I think the only person that has survived from my previous team is Laporte, so we've still got him. I still feel like he's a decent player. Still sort of does everything that I would want him to do, even though he's not that fast. I know that's normally the meta with defenders and things like that, but for me as of right now, I think he's solid. We did the Thiago Silva Want to Watch SBC, so he was completely free in regards to, I didn't actually spend any coins on him, I just sort of traded some players in for him basically in regards to the SBC, but again, really solid. He's not fast again, I think he's actually ever so slightly slower on the port, but he feels very strong in regards to his positioning and also his sort of being in the right place, right time, and making sort of last-ditch tackles. I think he's really good at that. I've spoke to another couple of people that are playing FIFA 21, and they've sort of said the same, that have done his card and have him. And I've got a shadow on him and Laporte as well, so hopefully that defending and pace is sort of boosted up even more. And I personally, as of right now, don't have a problem with my centre-backs, whether that's squad battles or sort of division rivals. So that's my centre-back pairing now. In regards to the left back and right back, I'll do left back first of all. I actually packed an untradeable Andrew Robertson, which is amazing because I was literally almost setting aside the coins to purchase him. So that's amazing because we got him as untradeable, which is perfect. He's going at the minute for around sort of 40,000, 42,000, so amazing that we just sort of picked him up for free because I was going to look to purchase him anyway, and I think when I was looking to purchase him he was around sort of 50,000, so perfect in that regards. And we also picked up a Kyle Walker. Obviously Kyle Walker, because of his pace, he's going to be sort of quite a meta player most years in FIFA, especially while he's still playing. I know that I've seen a lot of pro players or top 100 players on YouTube using him as well, so proves that he's probably a very meta player this season. So I picked him up for 112,000 coins. I mean, what's that, 50 games ago now, so played quite a few games with him, but yeah, really good in regards to his pace, his recovery for sort of wingers getting past him like Dembele and things like that. He recovers so quickly without the ball, so just fantastic really. In regards to my defence, I honestly, as of right now, really don't have a problem with it. Just really quickly, I'm touching on that. In regards to someone like Robertson, again, he's not the fastest. I mean, 83, he's not slow, but he's not your Mendy or your Davies. But I personally think his defensive qualities outweigh that, and I then don't have a problem with his pace. It's not that often that you're going to be having speedy wingers trying to get round you and sort of knock it past you. That's not FIFA 21. I mean, it's not been the FIFA the last few FIFAs, but it's definitely not FIFA 21. So I actually don't have a problem with his pace in regards to that aspect of him. His defending is quite good. I mean, if you just look at his defending stats there, he's got 84 standing tackling. This is before any of the chemistry style boosts, by the way. 84 standing tackling, 81 slide tackling, 82 interceptions, defensive awareness 83. So he's really good for what I want him to do. Also, that 95 stamina's always going to help as well. So for everything that I want him for and how I feel that this game plays, I don't have a problem with his pace not being in the 90s, and also I just feel like his attributes defensively and attackively as well. Not that I want him to be on the attack too much. I have all my defence on stay back while attacking tactics-wise, but he just does everything I want him to do basically in that position. Right, so moving on to the midfield now. So as you can see, I've changed my formation. I was running the 4-3-3 before, and now I'm running the 4-2-2-2. The reason for that is the 4-3-3 really worked in squad battles, obviously, against the CPU. So even playing on sort of world class or legendary, I found that it worked quite well. As soon as I moved over to division rivals, I was so wide open. I was so vulnerable, especially through the middle. That's why you can sort of see some of the changes that you can see here as well today. I was just too open to getting sort of passed through, counter-attacked on. From a defensive standpoint, it was really obvious that wasn't going to work against actual other players in division rivals. So that's when the formation change came in. So now I'm playing a 4-2-2-2. It just seems a lot more compact, especially on the defence. Everything is a lot more team orientated in regards to, like I mentioned, compact, tight. So that was the main reason for the change of formation. Now I've got Sissoko and Kovacic as my CDMs, and I've got them tactics wise both on intercepting or getting in the way of the passing lanes. So the reason for that is because then, especially Sissoko is really good at doing that, where he gets in the way of them passing lanes when sort of the centre mids are trying to get it through to the strikers, and he's really good at sort of cutting that ball out, whether that's against the CPU on squad battles or against actual people on division rivals. So this is my sort of centre defensive mid partnership. So Sissoko, I picked him up for 37,000 coins. In regards to, I've only actually played 14 games with him, as you can see, so he's still quite new to the team, but I do love everything he does. Like I mentioned, in regards to his work rate, cutting off them passing lanes, he's just really good at that. He's a really good centre defensive mid, even though he's not that highly rated. And Kovacic, I know probably most players wouldn't play him, but again, I know he's one of the only players that survived from my original team as well, but if you actually look at his stats, he just does everything, and I think I said this about him before, he just does everything quite well. He's got a decent bit of pace if you sort of try to get it out of the defence and into the midfield and start an attack. He's got really decent passing, really decent dribbling, so it's quite easy to do that. And also, defensive-wise, I know he's only there got, his base card as 69 defence and 70 physical, but he does feel a lot better than that, and especially now that I've got the chem style on him here of Powerhouse, for me, he just fulfilled that centre defensive role quite well. Maybe not in regards to defence, more so attacking, but because he's got a bit of pace about him, he does get about that midfield as well. And I quite like him as a player right now. Maybe it's something I'll change, going into the near future, but as of right now, he's sticking around. Now, going into my two centre attacking midfielders, my two cams, I've got Harry Kane and Richarlison. Or Richarlison, if you want to say. So Harry Kane again surviving from my first team, the third player to survive. I wasn't originally playing Kane. I had Oxlade-Chamberlain in there as my cam, but what I sometimes do is I actually switch Kane and Mane around. So Kane actually plays up front and Mane plays as like a cam. Obviously a cam sort of slash winger, because he does sometimes get on the wing. So Harry Kane's still in there most of the time though, plays up front with Vardy. But again, Harry Kane still, in regards to his finishing, things like that, he's just really good in front of goal. I feel like if there's one thing that I've mastered on this FIFA, or one thing I feel like is maybe my strongest, is I feel like I finish quite well in and around the box. So him being there and being on 91 shooting, I mean, if you just look at his base stats before, even the chemistry styles, his finishing is 94, attacking position 93, shot power 91, long shots 86. Anywhere in and around the box, and composure 91. In and around the box, I just feel that if I've got the right angle and I've set it up and I've done everything right myself, it goes in 9 times out of 10. So that's why he's still in there for now. Again, if there is a player that's probably going to get replaced soon, hopefully depending on coins, it will probably be him. And on my other cam is Richarlison. Now, again, I picked him up for 15,000 coins. He's just doing a bit of a job for me here at the minute in time, in all honesty. He's not someone that's going to survive a lot in my team, just being completely honest. The 4-star skill moves, 5-star weak foot is really nice, like I said, especially if he's coming in from the right and cutting across the box to hit with his left foot. I do that sometimes, and it does work really well, especially because of that 5-star weak foot. He is probably going to be replaced by a player that I'll talk about in a minute, but as of right now, he sort of does a job in there for me. He's high, so again, his work rate is fantastic, getting back and sort of helping the centre defensive mids out as well, so can't really complain about that. Now, my favourite 2 players on the pitch by absolute far, my 2 strikers, or as I mentioned, I know sometimes managers drop back to my cam position, but the strikers, what we're sort of setting up before I start the game, is Mane and Vardy. So Vardy, first of all, I packed him unbelievably. It was probably actually my only sort of pick in regards to sort of packing somebody. And he, I mean, if you just look there, obviously this is squad battles and division rivals combined, but 101 games played, 199 goals, 160 assists. Again, a little bit like Kane, I feel like if I get in the right position with him, it goes in 9 out of 10 times. He's only got a 3-star weak foot, but I have to say, I do not feel that at all. I would not have said that he had a 3-star weak foot at all. I would have said it's 4-star at the minimum. Every time if I've got the right angle, I've got the right positioning, I feel like it goes in with him 9 times out of 10, and because of his pace, he's just electric. I know 88, it's fast, it's not the fastest, but it feels lightning when he's on the ball. I don't know if it's because his physique, he's quite sort of dainty and skinny, but again, he's absolutely fantastic at doing that. And like I said, before the chem style, before the Deadeye chem style, he already had 92 finishing, 92 attacking position, 87 shot power, composure of 87, reactions 90. So he's been fantastic for me. Arguably, he's been my favourite player. That might not even be arguably, I think he is. What I've used so far this season, he's been my absolute favourite player. And also in regards to the last player, it's Mane. Now, unbelievably to myself, I just packed him. It was one of the most recent packs I got, and I've literally just packed him as a first owner tradable. At the minute, I'm going to keep a hold of him because I think he's fantastic, but at the minute, he's sort of going for around sort of 400, 370, around sort of 370 mark, 370 and above is sort of his price at the minute, but I don't think I'll be selling him just because he fulfills absolutely everything that I'd possibly want him to do, in all honesty. So, I mean, just looking at his base stats before anything else, obviously his pace 94, his finishing 90, shot power 84, composure 84, reactions 93, his agility and balance, agility 93, balance 86, stamina 88. He's just fantastic. He does absolutely everything that I'd want, whether that's playing him as like a up front with Vardy or in the cam position, sort of on the left a little bit as not a winger, but yeah, more as like a cam player. He's absolutely fantastic. He's really sort of does everything that I'd want, and I couldn't be more than happy with him. He's the only player at the minute in the team, just because of my team and how I've set it up, because I've got so many sort of centre players. He's the only one that's not on 10 chem, he's on 7 chem, but that's better than him being a sub and me bringing him on and him being on 5 chem, because that's what your subs get when they come on as a substitute. They're on 5 chemistry, so he starts on 7 chem, and I really don't feel the difference with him. I feel like he does everything that I'd want him to do on 7 chem as he probably would on 10. Right, so the last thing I just wanted to touch on before I get into any games, I should say, is in regards to the team itself. I feel like I've only upgraded. I don't feel like there's anywhere that I've gone down from the original team. I mean, obviously, just to sort of compare, Alisson in net instead of Schmeichel, back sort of centre mids of Laporte, which has stayed the same, but Thiago Silva instead of Bailly. Again, even though Bailly's faster, I feel like Thiago Silva serves a better purpose in there than Bailly did for me. In regards to the right back, Walker instead of James, obvious. In regards to the left back, Robertson instead of Shaw, again, obvious. Again, Kovacic and Kane have sort of stayed in the team, but Sissoko as my centre defensive mid, is, you know, much better than Rodriguez or Chamberlain was for me in regards to that role. Richarlison sort of kind of the same, and again up front Vardy and Mane instead of, you know, what I had before of, you know, James, Kane and Barn. Fantastic up top as well. So in regards to the team, I only feel like it's massively improved. So as of right now, I'm currently on 219,000 coins. The player that I'm absolutely desperate to get and replace is my cam position. Not because I'm really struggling with that position. I'm not. I just feel like that's from all previous FIFAs and things like that, that's the play that I next want to sort out is my cam position, and it's going to be for Richarlison. So he's probably going to come out once I have the coins for this new player, and this new player is going to slot in there perfectly. It's his position. So, and that is Kevin De Bruyne of Manchester City. So at the minute, or last time I checked, should I say, he was going for around sort of the 300 point mark. Yes, so he's the same again now. Yeah, so sort of around that mark, maybe even slightly less, 275 awesome. So I need like 50,000 to get to him. So again, Cam, he's going to slot perfectly in that position. Really good shooting, really good passing, really good dribbling. Decent bit of pace, to be fair, as well. 76, again, not slow, not fast, but not slow. Probably sort of put a hunter or something like that on him, like that one's already got on him. So really looking forward to adding him to the team. The only other player that I may be trying to get into the team, and it would be to replace Kane, as you maybe already saw on the screen before I jumped to De Bruyne, it'd be Timo Werner. Again, just because I've heard, again, watching some guys play on YouTube, top 100 players and things like that, I've heard he's just fantastic. I would love his one to watch, but I can't afford what's it at the minute? The 800 and odd, 860, 870 price tag, 900 that he's got at the minute. But just his base card at the minute, he's probably going to get maybe an inform card this week anyway. But just his base card is fantastic in regards to finishing 88, shot power 85, composure 82, reactions 87. He looks like a really good player, and again he's got that pace as well. So I feel like him and Vardy up front would be electric. So he would probably replace Kane. I would start him at cam, but move him up to striker and move Mane back. That would probably be the lineup. So I feel like I'd be in a really strong position for that. I do want to get De Bruyne before I get him, because I know he's less. I could probably afford him in about 20,000 coins, whereas De Bruyne I need about 50,000 more. I am going to go for De Bruyne first and then Timo Werner. But yeah, that's absolutely the next two additions, or the next two changes to the squad that I want to do. Right, so just for the second half of this episode, we're going to play one more squad battle game, just so I can sort of show you guys how the team works against the sort of the CPU. I know that maybe, especially on YouTube, you don't see a lot of squad battle games. People more sort of focus on your division rivals and things like that. The rewards that you get for squad battle games, if you finish at a decent position, like I said, I've done squad battles for 2 weeks now, and I finished in Elite 1 both times. I think I even packed my Vardy from my squad battle Elite 1 finish from the first week. So, and he was a £100,000 player, 100,000 coin player at the time when I packed him. I don't know what he is now, and I'm sure he sort of might be still up there somewhere. So I'm never going to not play the squad battle games. I know it's 40 games, but because you've got the whole week to do it, it's really not that bad. I've already played sort of 12 games this week. I sort of put a bit of a podcast on and just sort of play them sort of just quite relaxed, really, especially because I'm not extremely exerting myself in regards to playing on legendary every game, because I don't. I find it quite a nice sort of chilled experience. Play a bit of FIFA, just chill out a little bit. So at the minute, I sort of have a rule that I play on legendary for a team that's just 80 or in the sort of 70s or 60s, obviously rating wise, because I find that I always win, even on legendary against them sort of teams. And then any sort of 80 odd teams, or getting up to sort of 83, 84, 85, I just play on world class. I'm not going to beat that team on legendary. I'm just not. I'm going to play this one on legendary. We'll get into the game, see how it goes, and I'll sort of talk you through how it's sort of going and sort of what the new team feels like playing against a team like this on legendary difficulty. Right, so we're into the game. So again, this is legendary. Actually, really quickly before I do absolutely anything, I am just going to really quickly swap Kane and Mane. Like I said, I can always swap that later down the line, but I don't feel like Kane really does anything from cam position, so that's why I do make that change. So this is something that can get quite frustrating as well playing on legendary. Is the CPU just passes and passes and passes. So you do have to stay quite patient on legendary. It's not like world class where they'll just all of a sudden just run into your player. They really don't do that on legendary. So you've just got to stay a bit patient with the defending. See there, I don't really feel like I did too much wrong. He peeled away. My centre defensive mid couldn't get across to it too quickly enough, and he finishes. I mean, I don't normally, being in all honesty, I don't normally keep a clean sheet on Legendary. I normally just focus on outscoring them. But points-wise, I still feel like it's far more beneficial.
Harry Kane. This is looking threatening. Harry Kane.
See, that's what I mean about Harry Kane. I feel like when I get into them positions, I mean, I know I could have probably sweated that to Mane or possibly even Richarlison, but I feel like when I get in them positions with Kane or Vardy, I score 9 times out of 10.
Can they create something from here? Mane. Vardy. And there is the goal!
Same again, if I just feel like if I can get into that angle, whether that's left or right, I feel like I finish from there. But it's just a bit of slow build-up, especially against the CPU, because there will eventually be a position or a play that's in some space where you can then take advantage. But again, yeah, you just got to be a bit patient. This is actually quite a hard CPU game in regards to, I know the team's not amazing, but they're decent enough that they're keeping a lot of possession from me. Which again gets frustrating. You've got to try and keep your patience, even saying it to myself. But they are sort of keeping the ball quite well, so I'm really having to make use of the ball when I have it. See, I should be finishing that. That's one of them positions where I would back myself to finish that 9 times out of 10. I just didn't get the angle right on the shot. It needed to be more in the corner. So if you just look at them stats though off of half time, I mean, my passing accuracy is 96%, shot accuracy 100%, 4 shots 4 on target. But look at that possession, 60% to 40%. They do keep the possession of the ball really well on Legendary, just the CPU. So you have just got to make use of them chances when they come. I mean, 4 shots 4 on target, 2 goals, not too bad, but in all honesty, probably the 2 shots that I haven't scored from, I probably should have. Right, let's get straight into the second half.
Losing possession.
There we go. That's the finish that I wanted with Vardy from the left. Like I said, I can finish from the left with Vardy there, even with the 3-star weak foot. Decent finish, decent finish.
They've got it now, what can they do?
It's another finish there by Kane. So the game ends 4-1. I mean, I don't have too many problems with that, in all honesty. I do want to be getting at least 5 goals, no matter what difficulty I'm playing on, no matter what team I'm playing against. But just to really quickly show you what that would do, 4-1 on Legendary. So again, in the end of the game, I don't actually think they had a shot second half. They had 2 shots and 2 on target in the first half, and they kept on that, so I didn't even let them have a shot in the second half. But then look at me, I've gone from 4-4 to 14-10. I had a bit more position as well. I got it back to 47%. It was probably, if anything, it was just the finishing that let me down in that game, in all honesty. There was a couple of them shots on target, and I've scored 4, not scored from 6 on target, and it probably should have been better than that. But if you just really quickly look at what that gets us points-wise, that gets us 2.2. Points wise. So yeah, like I said, if I'd have got that other goal, that'd have been at least 2.3. Kept a clean sheet, you're sort of looking at 2.5, 2.6. So again, playing on Legendary, as long as you win, you're always going to get a decent amount of points. You know, no matter if it's a 1-0 win or a 4-1 win or a 6-0 win. So you definitely want to be playing on Legendary if you can, but losing a game, you only get about 500, 600, 700 points. So it's always better to play on world class. Yeah, on world class if you don't think you're going to win, but if you can, then definitely you want to be playing on Legendary. Right guys, that's where we're going to wrap it up for that episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this part 2 of my FIFA 21 sort of journey on this Ultimate Team voyage. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and comment down below. Make sure you turn that notification bell on just so you don't miss any of the upcoming content, whether that's FIFA, Rainbow Six Siege, anything like that. Just make sure you don't miss out. And I'll see you in the next video guys. Cheers, bye bye.